Hello, welcome to my channel, Inflightmuzik. My name is Ian, and today I want to show you the most underrated stock plugins in FL Studio. So one thing that you'll notice with the plugins that I go over, all of these are available in every single version of FL Studio. So you don't need the All Plugins bundle, you don't even need the Signature Edition or the Producer Edition. All of these are included in the Fruity Edition, and these are the best plugins that come stock, truly stock with FL Studio. Here is the first FL Studio plugin that I want to go over, and it's Direct Wave. If you go into Packs and Instruments, you'll find presets for Direct Wave. This first one is an acoustic bass guitar. Actually sounds more like an upright guitar. An Ibanez guitar with a pick. Slap bass. And what's great about Direct Wave, because it's a stock FL Studio instrument, you can use all of the piano roll settings like the pitch bend, the slide notes, and stuff like that. Classic acoustic guitar. Now for the pianos. These pianos are ridiculously good. Some of you probably already saw my tutorial on free pianos and guitars in terms of free VST plugins. If you own FL Studio, definitely don't underestimate Direct Wave. And some orchestral sounds. Some of you have seen my free orchestral VST plugin video. Once again, don't underestimate Direct Wave. This next one is GMS, and I feel like this one definitely isn't talked about enough for sure. I mean, it has these preset banks right here, but it's pretty easy to make your own presets because it has these waveforms. There's not a lot to choose from, but that's a good thing because they're pretty specific and they can create a large variety of different sounds. So you could just go in and just load up different sounds if you wanted to. This section right here is what makes this plugin super, super useful and why I consider it as definitely one of the most underrated plugins in FL Studio. And what I like to do is hit this glue button on any of these effects up top here. So first, let's go ahead and check out this distortion, which it's already on. And then we're just going to move this around while this glue button is on. Without it turned on, you won't hear anything because you'll have to manually move this around. But as soon as you hit glue, it'll actually play whatever setting that you have. Now, what's really cool about this, GMS stands for Groove Machine Synthesizer. In each of these effect sections, you have this little LFO tool, and that will add movement to your sound. So let's increase this. And then you have your timings right here. And then your different LFO shapes, of course. But it's an awesome plugin to just inspire creativity and other sounds. This can give you a lot of groove right off the bat without even adding in any drum sounds. But you can do that with all of these different settings. That was just one. There we go. And you heard that this had a different timing from the first one. And if you keep adding timings, different timings, everything's synced up to your tempo, you can create a lot of groove and a lot of motion within one sound that can inspire a whole bunch of new sounds as you move on with the beat. So this is a plugin that I recommend you starting out with in terms of making your beat and building around whatever sound you create out of here. This next one is called Autogun. This plugin has something ridiculous like millions and millions of presets. Yeah, what is that number? I can't read it. So when you have 10 zeros. Okay, so I think this has 4,294,967,296 presets. Yeah, I think I said that right. So over 4 billion presets. And here I was thinking it was like millions of presets. No, it's billions of presets. It just randomly selects presets for you. And then whenever you come across a cool preset, make sure you save it. I believe this mix knob right here is a sound goodizer preset. So basically a Maximus preset. But yeah, this is basically just a miniature version of Ogun. So all these presets were made with Ogun, which is a plugin from ImageLine. But another thing that you could do is actually enter the preset number here. And you could change the processing quality. Grab this Filter Crunch. This is a free plugin. It's 32-bit, so it's nothing amazing. But it does the job. Not bad. Without the filter, with it. And that's the main reason why I feel like this plugin is underrated, because it really only takes 1 or 2 plugins to really make this thing stand out. So a little bit of reverb and a quick little filter. This next one's even more obscure, and I think people don't really mess around with it because of its name, and it's called Mini Synth. It has a good quality sound, and it's perfect for just getting exactly what you need really fast. It's really easy to make pads and leads with it right away. So here you have just a few different waveforms, everything from saw to a bell. The way that you would control the volume is with the actual volume knob up here, so keep that in mind. Again, I have these effects turned on, so that's something to keep in mind if you want to just create your sound in here while you have specific effects on. But something that I did that was really cool with one of my songs with this synth, I actually made something that sounded like a vocal out of it. And let me just go ahead and let you hear what that sounds like. But what I went ahead and did, I threw grow speed on there, and it ended up sounding like a vocal. Yeah, don't mind the crazy composition and the horrible mixing. That was one of the first beats that I made when I came back to making beats. So this last plugin I feel like isn't mentioned often enough, especially for people that like to use stock plugins or like to use cheap plugins or plugins that don't sound great right off the bat. Patcher can change all of that. So you saw how with some of those other plugins I was adding reverb and adding filters to them just to make the sound more enhanced. Well, Patcher is a great way to just throw plugins into here and add in your effects right away, right off the top. And on top of that, you can layer multiple VSTs on top of each other to make bigger sounds. My video on the 2 legendary plugins that I wish were still made, that included Hypersonic. The reason I love Hypersonic is the idea of layering multiple plugins or layering multiple sounds. So with Patcher, the way that I like to use it, I like to throw in smaller plugins that don't leave a huge fingerprint on my machine, and I'll throw in like Mini Synth, I'll throw in a GMS, and I might throw in something like a Citrus. And I would say Citrus is one of those underrated plugins, but I think everyone that owns FL Studio is fully aware of Citrus and its capabilities. There's a lot of plugin packs out there, and it has plenty of good sounds. That was just these 3 plugins layered without any effects. So what I would go in and do, I would just add different filters, add different reverbs, and then you could branch those off and have only the reverb affecting Citrus and have only distortion on Mini Synth, and then just having a clean signal from GMS or vice versa. Every which way is possible. And you'll just come up with really gigantic big sounds that you could then have all those go into maybe one EQ plugin and then just EQ all those sounds together. Remember, you could save all of these as presets as well. So if you were to just spend one afternoon just making different patches of Patcher and saving those as presets, then you would have all these go-to sounds that no one else has. If you watched all the way to the end of the video, please leave me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.